Each and every person who uses Revit should be familiar with these settings and options. I will be sharing more than 5 must-know options that you will definitely need to use at some points. And let's start with one of the most annoying ones. Here it is. I was just talking about this notification for saving your file. I mean, I do really appreciate it popping up time to time, but sometimes it is too much. To control it, we can go to File, and with this option, we can go to Revit setting. In this part, in General tab, we have this notification setting in here, which has two different parts. First one, this save reminder interval is for the one that we just saw. It is for saving your files on your computer. And the second one is for synchronizing with the central file. So depending on your need, you can set them on 15-minute, 30-minute, 1, 2, or 4 hour. And if you don't want to see them at all, you can set them on no reminder. You have these options for both of them, so you can set them separately. The other section in here is this view option, and it is for the discipline. So if you check the properties in this part, you can see that discipline is set on coordination, which is what we have in here. So sometimes if you are just working with Revittutorial or Revitstructure or any other discipline, you can change this and you can put this on any discipline that you want, and you will have it always in here. The next part is this user interface. In here, we have lots of different super helpful options. So in the first section, in the configure, you have lots of different tools and analysis in here. If you uncheck one of them, you can delete them from this part. So for example, let's just uncheck this massing and side and see what will happen. So this is massing and side, and if I apply, we have no massing and side tab in here anymore. So if you want to, like for example, only work with architecture or only work with the structure and you don't need some of these parts, you can go to File, Option, User Interface, and just simply uncheck them. I'm going to check this because this is one of the most helpful tabs that we have in here. The next one is this keyboard shortcut. If you click on this customize, you will have the list of your shortcuts in here. I personally don't use shortcuts that much in Revit, but if you want, you can come here and check them. For example, for this visibility and graphic, you will have two options. You can assign new shortcuts, you can remove them. For example, for this symbol, you can just insert any key that you want to hear. Let's just go with SY, and then if you assign it, then while you are working, you can just simply press SY and activate this tool and use it. Very cool option that we have in here is that if you change your shortcuts and you really used to them, you can export them and you can take them and import them to any other system, any other computer that you are using, and you can use your shortcuts on that computer too. You can also have access to that keyboard shortcuts in the View tab and in User Interface. You can just simply click on this part and you will have all of your shortcuts in this part and you can change them. The other option that we have in this part, in this user interface, is this double click option. If you open it, you will see that we have some elements in this part and we have some actions in here. For example, if you double click on a family, you will go to its edit family and you can change it to edit type. So if you double click on a family, you can have access to edit type and you can change any parameter you want, or you can go to edit family to that family itself and you can change it there. Or we have this sketched element. So in this part, if you click on any sketched element, you can go to edit element, so you can change the sketch, or you can click on this part, you can switch this double click action to edit type, and if you click on any sketched element, you will have access to its parameters. Exactly like this, we have lots of different options in here. We have these 4 sheets, views, assemblies, groups, and the stairs, which if you don't like them, you can just simply change them from here. Moving on to the next part, we have this colors tab in here. So as you can see, my theme is light and I'm going to switch it to dark so you can see how it looks. If you're okay with this theme and you just don't like to work in here like this, you can just simply go back to File, Options, Colors, and you can change the background. For example, put it on white color. OK and OK. So your working view and your background is going to be white and the overall theme will be black. Let's go back to options and switch this theme to light, and in here you can see this selection. So if I click on OK and if I select some parts, you can see this blue light in the selection parts, and you can see that it is transparent. If we go back to file options and to color section, we can change this selection and we can, for example, put it on this green color, and if I uncheck this semi-transparent, and we will have solid green colors in here. I don't really care about the color, but this semi-transparency is very important, especially sometimes we just select some elements just to see what is inside them, right? These parts are also the same. You can change them for rebar editing, for calculation, and for these alerts. As you can see, by default this is set on this orange color, but I changed it and put it on this color. Let me just show you how this is different. So let's go to this floor plan. In this part, I just want to create a wall like this. And if I create another one in this part, you can see this pink alert and you will have this warning in this part. So this is how you will understand that you will have an alert, you did some mistake, this is an overlap and you need to fix it. Next part is this graphic tab. In here also we have some very helpful tools. So this smooth lines with anti-aliasing, let me just show you how this works. So if you zoom in on one of the elements that you have in your viewport, you can see these lines in here. You see how they look. They are not soft, they are not smooth. So if you want to fix it, you just need to go to visual style in the graphic display option, and you just need to check this smooth lines with anti-aliasing. And if you apply, you will have very smoother lines, as you can see the difference. So if you go back to file, options, graphic, and in here you will see that this allow control for each view is selected. This means that you need to do it for each view, and if you switch it to this one, use for all views, for all of your views, for any view that you have in this part, you will have this option active. But I suggest to keep it on this option because you don't need to like have smooth lines for each view. The other section we have in here is for temporary dimension. What is the temporary dimension? So if we go back to this floor plan, and in here I'm going to create a wall and let's assign a door for it in this part. If I select this door, you can see these temporary dimensions in here. The size is very small and you can see that there is no background, so it is transparent. You can't recognize it in here whether it is a transparent or opaque, but if you are in a floor plan, you will definitely see it. So if we go back to options, graphic, you can change its size to any number you want. For example, this 12, and you can switch this to opaque so they have a background. Green is so weird. I'm going to skip this hardware, and the next part is this file location. So this part is important because you will have access to controlling your templates. Right now you can see that this default metric is the first template that we have in here. This is because I usually use this default metric and I put it up in here so I can easily have access to it. If you have any other template in this part, you can just simply add them with this icon, or if you don't need them, you can just simply remove them. And with these two icons, you can move them up or down. If you want to learn more about templates, I have created a video explaining everything you need to know, and I'm going to put it in the card section. So if you are interested, don't forget to check that. The last part that we're going to talk about is about this view cube. So since we are in a 2D view, we can't see that view cube in here. But if we go to 3D view, we can see it in here. And this is because in its setting in this view cube, it is set on all 3D views. So we only have it in 3D views. If you don't want to see it at all, you can just simply uncheck it and all of its setting is going to be inactive. But if you want to see it and in another place in any of these corners, you can change its position from this part. You can put it on top right where it is exactly right now, put it on bottom right, bottom left, or top left, which if you change its position, it will be really weird. So keep it in that corner. But if you want to change its size, you can put it on tiny, small, medium, or large. which small is something that I really like, and I want it to be exactly in here but a little smaller. I also like to change this inactive opacity and put it on 25 or just 0%. So if I apply, I can't see it there. But if I hover my mouse over it, we will have it in a smaller size in this part, which is really fun and helpful sometimes. So that's it. These were some very necessary and helpful tools and options that I thought you need to definitely know about them. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you want to learn more about the Revit interface, you can watch this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.